Today we are speaking with Ronald Pennings. Ronald is a professor and ear specialist at Radboud University Medical Center in Nijmegen, the Netherlands. His specialization is the genetic background of hearing loss. Ronald, can you tell us a little bit about your involvement with Usher?
Thank you. Well, I've been involved in Usher syndrome for more than 25 years when I started my PhD. And since then, we've been conducting many studies on Usher syndrome. And so in our expertise center, Hearing and Genes, we have a focus on hereditary hearing loss and especially Usher syndrome as well.
Right. You're also heading a consortium?
Yes, correct. We have set up a DOOFNL-consortium, it is called, and it's a collaboration between all the academic ENT, ear, nose, and throat, and genetic departments here in the Netherlands. And the aim of that consortium is to perform research together to try to identify novel deafness genes. And in addition to that, also to create patient information, which makes sure that every patient in the Netherlands get the same information when a genetic diagnosis is being made.
Right. So the added value is that you just have more specialists together.
Yeah, and collaborate together. So we are certain that in every spot, the same information is being provided to the patients. And we make sure that the information is as up-to-date as possible.
Right, okay. What is the genetic background of hearing loss in Usher syndrome?
Well, the molecular background, if that is what you mean in Usher syndrome, is that the hair cells in the cochlea are not functioning well, depending a bit on which type of Usher syndrome a patient has. It means that the hair cells are completely not functioning, so the patients are completely deaf from birth in Usher type 1, but in Usher type 2, we see that the hair cells are functioning not completely normal, and therefore they have a hearing loss for which they can use, for example, hearing aids.
Right. Can anything be done about this?
At this point, it's quite difficult to treat, to cure the hearing loss. It's not possible, but there is the potential, of course, to give patients hearing aids, especially in Usher type 2, or cochlear implants, to treat patients who have become deaf or are severely hearing impaired.
Right. So there are genetic therapies underway?
Yeah, so there are several genetic therapies currently being developed and also tested in humans. So it's a really exciting time to work in as a researcher and a doctor as well. The focus now at this point is mainly at the vision, but there hopefully will come also possibilities to treat hearing loss or cure hearing loss.
Right. Are they likely to succeed?
Um, Well, that's something that we, of course, need to see from the clinical trials that are being performed in humans. I have good hope from the preclinical data that for the vision there might be coming some cures down the line. From hearing point of view, we'll have to see that in the future how well that will be able to cure, especially in Usher type 1, where there is a congenital defect. So at birth defect in these children who are born profoundly deaf, I think it's quite difficult to cure that hearing loss.
Right.
Maybe that will take more time to do that. Yeah.
So in the meantime, people will depend on hearing aids, cochlear implants.
Yeah, but from that point of view, they don't have to become and stay deaf. They will, if we implant them early enough, especially in Usher type 1, we know we can, these children will develop normal speech language and usually go to regular schools instead of the schools for the deaf in the past. So that has been a revolutionary change in the treatment of patients with congenital deafness. But also for Usher type 2, we know that patients above the age of 50, roughly about 15% of them are eligible for a cochlear implant, and they do really well with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do you not give everybody a cochlear implant from the start?
Yeah, so we do that in patients with Usher syndrome type 1 because they will not have normal hearing and speech language development. In Usher type 2, hearing aids are sufficient to provide them with normal speech language development. And so there is no benefit. And you have to do an operation, right? And it's an expensive device. So it will not give more benefit than the hearing aids that they are using. But in the long run, they may benefit from it. And in Usher type 3, which is more rare, especially in the Netherlands, we know that the hearing loss is quite progressive, but also these patients will benefit from a cochlear implant.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. There are also technical improvements going on, right? With cochlear implants, you
Yeah.
can connect it to
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah. So like in hearing aids as well as in cochlear implants, Bluetooth connections can be made. So children in high school, they can secretly listen to music if they are
Perfect.
bored by the teachers. So there are opportunities indeed to be linked to their iPhones and so that really is beneficial as well.
Right. What's your hope for the future, say 25 years from now? Where will you stand in this field?
In 25 years, I really would hope that we do have some kind of treatment for most of the people with Usher syndrome, especially for their vision, because that's what is really progressive, and that we cannot cure it at this point or treat it like we can treat hearing loss. But also from a hearing point of view, it would be great if we could regenerate hair cells or give hearing back. But a lot of water will run through the well, I think,
Right.
before we will get there. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time and for your explanations. Good luck with the research.
Okay. Thank you very much.